Welcome back, YouTube family. We are here with another trade recap video. Today, Bitcoin continued its rip up even higher, and also we had a trade on NEO where it gave back a little bit at the bell, but then we were able to ride that momentum down and get out before it picked back up. So let's jump over and check out a few trades. Okay, everybody, here we are on our first trade that we're going to go over real quick. This is Mara, who you all know is a really large mining company when it comes to Bitcoin. They're always in the news and they always have volatility when there is Bitcoin crypto news. So this was an obvious play, and honestly has been an obvious play for quite a few days now. It is one of my favorite stocks to trade just because of the volume and the price range that it's in. So today we had some continuation of volatility concerning crypto. And we had a level here that was set in pre-market. I did not trade this pre-market, but I did draw this level at 52.57 as a potential ceiling, just because it was the high of pre-market. So coming out of the bell, what we had here was we had an initial dip, and then we did have a run over the VWAP. Now, I was trading another stock during this time, which we'll see after this, but that's one of the reasons I didn't get in on this VWAP break to the downside, or else I could have had a really nice breakout there. So when I did finally get in Mara, I was basically almost done for the day. This was one of my last trades of the day, but it was also one of my favorites just because of the amount of setups that came along with this. As you'll see here, I'm going to draw my entry, which was this right here. This was a break of the low of day. We wanted to see a really large pop of volume and a failure to hold this level. I hope you can see. I know it's sort of small on my screen, but I want to point this out for you just in case you can't see it. This is this level right here, which is the $50 mark. This was one of the strong reasons I felt really good about this. Now, it could have just as easily bounced off of this 50 and continued higher, but after looking that everybody was basically taking profits off of more this morning at the bell, I was noticing everything was trending down, especially on the 5-minute as well. We had a continuation of the 9, and it just could not close above the 9 all the way down here. We did have this initial touch of the 50 back here, and then it pushed back up, and that's when we started seeing the bearish momentum coming back down. We had 3 taps here, which was really nice, and this was basically the stop loss. We had an entry right here, and I think my entry was, honestly, I can't remember the exact entry, but I know that it was right at the $50 mark, because it gave me a really easy idea of when I actually added to the position. I was able to have a really easy area for a stop loss. And as you can see here, once I took this short right at 50 and it lost the $50 mark, we had a really big pop downwards. We had the first, I'm going to go ahead and grab the marker. I always like to do this, that way I can get an exact amount for you guys. So yeah, it looks like the entry filled right around 49, 91, 92. And then I was able to partial out at 79 and then 64. So those were really nice gains. And then I just continued to let this run, just because we had huge red candles down here. And I knew that once we lost 50, it was pretty much over. I was able to just watch the price action. I then partialed out at 49.49 and 49.19. Now, what I did is, you can see there are 2 arrows right here that are right on top of each other. I actually added to this position for the loss of the 49 mark. So I played this all the way down a full dollar, and I was still holding a few shares. I think it was only like maybe 100 shares or something like that. It wasn't very many at all. I added a small part to this, and once I noticed that it didn't really want to lose and continue down, it was already really extended. I went ahead and hit the partial here, and then I went ahead and just took everything out before it had a chance to recover. Mara did continue to get really strong for the rest of the day, and I think as of right now it's over $53. Mara is making a run for all-time highs. I really wish that I've gotten into this trade as a swing trade previously, but I didn't. So really the only thing you can do now is take advantage of this day trading. We're going to jump over to NEO, have one more look at another trade, and then we'll be done for the day. Here we are at NEO, another stock that I like to trade often, and it has also been really strong with all of the EV sector news that has been coming out. It doesn't necessarily always follow Tesla, but we all know Tesla has been super bullish recently, along with names like ChargePoint, and then obviously Lucid has had a lot of volatility. NEO came out this morning and it was already above 40, well above 40 actually, and it had been putting in a lot of work up at this level, which is where I had drawn this 40-41 level. And it did continue to run up, and it made a really nice run above the VWAP. I didn't take that trade. This is where you guys saw me in the previous trade I just reviewed, where I switched over to Mara and started trading that stock. But this, after I made my 1 minute candle trade on coin, I had one trade on coin, and then I basically sat back and I have a 1 minute breakout that I trade. If it doesn't continue and I get out of it completely, then my next setup that I'm looking for is the loss of VWAP slash 5 minute breakout. This wasn't a 5 minute breakout as much as it was an easy reversal and a loss of the VWAP. One thing that NEO tends to do, and you guys have heard me say this before, is that one direction it likes to go really strong, and you'll see it just pull away right at the bell. And we went from 40.36 all the way down to 39.96. We made a really strong pull up of 40 cents, and then it rebounds and just completely goes right through the VWAP. I'm looking for the people that see this and notice that it isn't going to continue past this previous level that I had marked right at 40.41. Once I saw the failure there, it started giving everything back. That's just what NEO does. It makes really strong rips, and then it makes really strong rips the other way. So what I did was, instead of waiting for my initial setup here, which would have been across of the VWAP at 935, I went ahead and loaded into it here as it crossed this candlestick right here. It broke the low of this wick. I loaded in there, and then I was basically going to wait to see what it was going to do at VWAP. If it came down and tapped and then started jiggling around and not really making a full-blown effort to lose, then I was just going to say, okay, let me go ahead and just take my partials and stop out. But this thing came down with a lot of velocity, so I just went ahead and smashed the short again. And when it lost this, I had a really large position, and the average was right around, let's go ahead and see what the in-between price was of these two. So it was right around $4.20. I had a full position, and then I took a quarter out at $4.08. And then I took another partial at $40. Now, this was another whole dollar move, $40. What do you think I'm going to do? Either play this as a floor, or I'm going to play this as, if it can't make it above there and it loses again, that's where I'm going to look to add to my position. That's exactly what I did. I had already taken these two positions, so what I did is I had a little bit of time to actually do the math in my head because this was forming a wick. What I did was I looked at what I had and where my average was. My average was going to be right around in this general area right here because I had already taken out two partials. What I did was I lowered my position, and then I re-entered here for the loss of the $40 mark. That was able to let me make the full position again, basically, and still have a break even where it would be easily controlled. I didn't add here so much that my break even was going to be like way down here. That would have been stupid, and that wouldn't have really helped it at all. So what I did is I added another position which brought my break even to right below the VWAP, and that addition was right at the, let's see here, it was right at the I hate it when it doesn't give me my crosshairs. It was sitting right around, it was actually at 40.01. And then this is where I partialed at 39.93 and 39.91. I was really hoping that it was going to lose this 39.90 level here and, bounce off of something here and then continue on down. We didn't get that, so I went ahead and took my partial at 40.02, and I was all out here. So that was a really neat trade. I don't think it may have paid the most out of all my trades. I'm not sure, but I will say that it was my favorite of the day just because it fit my setup of the VWAP loss strategy so well. And then my add into the position was basically the loss of a whole dollar, which I really love playing. Played it on Mara as the short and coincided with low of day. So anytime I can have like a really strong number, like a $40 mark or a $50 mark, that just adds to my confidence to either take the position or go ahead and add into it if I'm in a winning position. Thanks you guys as always for stopping by. I hope you enjoy this content, and I always hope that it provides some usefulness and education to you guys. If you haven't subbed already, please feel free to subscribe and go ahead and check out some of my other videos as well. Take care.